Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Phil from the Vocal Blueprint. Thank you so much for tuning into today's video. It is an instructional video on how to sing Toxicity's System of a Down. I performed this song a couple of days ago and posted a video of myself performing it, and now we are going to be going over the tips and techniques that I use in order to perform this effectively. So given that this video is designed for people who are intermediate or at least advanced in their performance skills, it's not recommended for beginners or novices to take what I say here and apply them. However, please do note what I talk about here and bring them to somebody who has some experience and have them watch this video, talk about some of the tips and tricks that I talk about and apply them. And you could certainly apply them to other songs that are not as difficult as this song is, and you could certainly take, anybody watching this can take some really valuable information and apply it to the rock genre. I just would not recommend beginners and novices taking this song in particular and trying to do the things that I talk about here, simply because of the possible damage that you could do to your voice if you don't have at least a basic understanding of the fundamentals. So that's what I will say on that matter. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive deep into this rabbit hole that is System of a Down's Toxicity. So, all right, so starting off, first things first, the slow jaw movement, keeping most of the movement up in the mask, the exposure of the teeth, the buffering of the tongue, movement of the eye muscles up here. All this is controlling what's happening down here. Also keep in mind that this head position that I'm using is very ideal for rock singing, let alone any type of singing. You're keeping your head tucked in and melting with your larynx. You never want to go way down like this and have it catch your larynx, because that can cause a lot of tension in your neck muscles. However, if you have it in a position such where you can hinge easily without pulling the larynx up, that is a really, really key thing that I talk about in previous videos, but you can see it enacted here in this performance. So watch. And here's another thing that I want to talk about. Right there. The way that I said, yo! A lot of people have a tendency to put all the movement in the jaw because of how powerful it is. Actually, the thing that you want to do is use your tongue to buffer the y and to the o, yo, and also you want to prime the word before you actually say it, rather than going, yo, like that. There is a chance that over time it's going to cause a lot of fatigue because you are moving your jaw too much, and it can actually interact negatively with your larynx and the muscles around it. So you want to use your tongue as a buffer as much as you possibly can and prime your phrases before you actually say them. It is such a huge saver of energy and conserves what you have. So let's take a look. Let's watch this buffer again. It's very important that you take that. Watch. And boom. Yep. Now, you might be seeing an illusion of the eye that the jaw is moving quickly. It's actually just moving smoothly. It's kind of going like, it's the difference between moving at 100 miles per hour and 60 miles per hour. In comparison to the movement of my mouth and my tongue and everything that's happening up here, it looks so much slower. So I'm just eating seeds, the pastime, activity. Look at the position of the tongue, note that. And if you have any questions about it, obviously say it in the comments and I'll be happy to answer them. Also, something else that I want to mention later on in this video, and then what I'm doing right here with some of the distortion that's happening. One thing that I want you to note about it is that it's not coming from here. It is coming from the soft palate, and we'll talk about that a little bit more because there's a really good example of healthy distortion coming up. So, and it's coming up now. How convenient. And I'm about to go super, super ultra hype. That was so extra. I kind of regret doing that. But at the same time, I don't, because it can serve as an instructional purpose. Okay, it serves an instructional purpose, rather. So, coming back to this, okay, that the only difference between and is the position of the soft palate and the compression of the diaphragm in such a way that it mixes it. I know that there's a lot of people that say there's no such thing as a mix between head voice and chest tone. However, you can employ chest tone techniques to your head voice that allow it to sound like that. Now, the sound that sound is not coming from here. It is a clean tone from the solar plexus up. You want to make sure that there's a clean tone all the way through up into your larynx. The only time that it becomes distorted is when it comes up here to the mask. And the relaxation of the soft palate, it's like when you snore, your soft palate is relaxing when that happens. So when you go or it's because the soft palate is just snoring in reverse. So when you do the type of thing, it should only be employing this stuff, and you actually end up relaxing more muscles as a result to get that sound. It's a magic it's a magic trick, really. It sounds like you're destroying your voice cords, but in reality you are not. You are simply relaxing the false chords and the soft palate to create that sound. So very important to understand that topic, especially when singing this type of genre. You can really hurt yourself if you try to employ this stuff down here in the larynx to get that sound, and that's just not the case. You don't want to do that. Now, of course, there are muscles involved with that type of exercise and that type of technique, but to bring conscious attention here is going to hurt immensely. You're going to run into a lot of issues. I know from personal experience doing so. So that's very important. You keep it up in the mask. Keep it up in the mask, and you can do it all the time. So that's you can go back and forth and not hurt yourself. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So this is the reason why I said intermediate to advanced, not beginners or novices. I don't want any of you kids out there doing what I just did or trying to and hurting yourself. Damn it. All right. So anyway, moving on. And watching, you see that there's not a lot going on. There's only a little bit of veinage poppage. Like usually with people that are maybe just like bring a lot of emotion to the table and don't have a lot of technique, you'll be seeing those veins popping out the entire time. So also something else to note, some of you may be watching this and saying, well, my voice coach said if I see any of this, any poppage whatsoever, that's a really bad thing. I should not do that. Well, yes and no to a degree. Think of your body like a car, okay? If you have a high performance car that can redline it once in a while, go ahead and redline it once in a while. If you want to, punch it into acceleration, go ahead and do it. Just don't do it all the time. You don't want to be redlining at 30 miles per hour. You don't want to be like, have this popping out when you're just in the middle of your mid-range. It's going to pop out if you are trying to get up to 120 miles per hour. Now, and of course you have to gauge it. You have to take care of your body. You have to take care of your engine, your automobile, which is your voice, your instrument, everything that's happening here. But you can push it just a little bit. You can push it a little bit to see what it can do. You can push the envelope slightly without injuring yourself. Know how to handle your instrument. Know how to handle your automobile. What you have, the tools that you have in your bag. So, going on, that is such an extra ultra face. Coming back to that topic about really weird faces and being okay with it. So, that's just, keep this in mind, Yeah, exactly. So, I love this band. It's so much fun. This was so much fun to record. Yeah. All right. Now, it wasn't disorder that I said. I said disorder. Something that which sounds ridiculous when you speak it, but when you sing it, disorder, it sounds pretty good. This is a really, really, this is an important technique to take away as well. The modification of the vowel by singing the O into an ah shape, especially on the top part of your range, is really going to save you from a lot of headache and hurt. If you go disorder, there's going to be a lot of problems, even if you have optimal head position. If you don't, disorder, no, it's not going to work. Disorder is going to work a lot better. Homogenizing your vowels as you go up is a very, very key tool to helping you achieve those really high notes, which are ridiculous. Look at look at Chris Cornell, for example. If you don't know who he is, he's the lead singer of Soundgarden, Audioslave. Still sounds amazing up to this day, and he's been doing this for years. Really great track record, and he has a really, really great technique. He's a master at homogenizing his vowels on the higher parts of his voice, especially when he gets up into his like that. Oh, that stuff! Like, he's really, really good at that, and I want you to really note what he does, especially in Jesus Christ Pose. If you look up that song, you'll get a really, really good understanding of how homogenizing the vowel can really save your voice, especially in his case. But this is exactly what I'm doing. Like, homogenizing the vowel is exactly what I'm doing for this part and throughout this song. A little bit of poppage, but that's okay, as long as it comes back to your bass. I'm really getting into it at this point. Which there's nothing wrong with, by the way. Yep, keeping the teeth exposed, letting it just go a little bit, and bringing it home. All right, so that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching this instructional video on Toxicity System of Down. I hope that at least you got something out of it that you find useful. The whole reason why I did this song and brought it out here to everyone is so that way it can benefit you, and that you can take what I say and you can create amazing art and get the most out of your voice and your experience performing, whether it be someone else's material or your own. I want to see people go beyond what I've been able to achieve as a singer and performer. That's my goal as a teacher, is to work myself out of a job and get people to go way beyond what I'll ever achieve in my lifetime. So I really hope that you take the videos that I do in the sentiment, and that you take it and run with it. Take these and run with it. And if you are interested in working with me one-on-one and customizing a plan for yourself to get to that point, and to get to the point where you're consistently making progress, please feel free to get in touch. I will leave a link in the description of this video, as well as the end of this video. And thank you so much again for tuning into the Vocal Blueprint, everyone. My name is Phil Freeman, at your service. Always remember, until next time, practice makes progress, and with that, you can go and find your voice. Oh, that was really bad. Oh well, that's okay. Take care. Until next time. Bye.